Yo, what is up? Again. Well, not again. Again for me, but not for you. You probably haven't seen a video from me since the Camaro I finished the swap, which has been going on 2 weeks now, I think. Uh, Long story short, I attempted to do the typical YouTube, show you guys me working on it at the same time through the whole video rather than how I've been doing, where I do it, video it, cut it, show you when I finish, blah blah blah. I messed that all up. It was bad. I tried to do it twice. I edited it, and it was all kinds of funky. As you can see here, I had a whole. I was getting all official with it. I had the stand with the light, and I had it all set up over next to the Cuda. And the video came out horrible. The video itself kept getting turned 90 degrees, so when I would edit it and turn it back 90 degrees, it would shrink the screen, and it was so bad. I just deleted all the videos, and now I'm just gonna have to show you what I did, which is I swapped the truck intake on the Cuda from a truck intake to the LS1 intake, and then I was gonna show you guys an update on the Camaro with the AC system that is absolutely kicking my, so let's get into the Camaro, and then I'll show you guys. Oh, I also want to show you guys more of the Cuda itself, since it's actual daylight outside. I rewatched the video. Oh, that was the last video I posted. Was the Cuda? Yeah. Show you guys the Cuda in more daylight, since for some reason I decided to make that video when there was like 15 minutes of daylight left and you could barely see anything. So let's see what the Camaro is looking like. So, obvious to begin with, take off this panel, take off the headlight bucket, bumper, grill, blah, blah, blah. Not to put any of that in, because that was already in, but I had to take out the whole fender well. To put in the plate. Most people take off the whole fender, which definitely makes it a lot easier, because then you can just stand right there and do all that. I opted out for fender well, which took 2 hours by itself to take out, because these old school cars, they're shimmed at the body. See that little tab under there? That's a shim. That shim, you can't really see that one, shimmed, but they're all shimmed to line the body up with the body gap, where this one's obviously kind of off. But I did not want to deal with fender bolts, given how the rest of the car has been, and I didn't want to have to deal with realigning all of this, so I opted out, and I took the fender well out, and then I just jack it up, take the wheel off, and then you can sit under there and do all this. Long story short, I, not being the brightest feller, ordered the wrong AC kit. The first time I've ever done AC, probably the last time for quite a while, because it has been an absolute pain. But it's been a pain because it's the wrong kit, so it's kind of hard to say if it's user error is why it's taking so long, or if it's actually parts. But it's definitely a lot of user error. But long story short, I ordered a factory air kit for a non-factory air car because I thought it was factory air. And so we are, almost dropped it there. So I have to pull that. I already pulled that off 3 times, which that's been an absolute pain. It was a pain to put on, which I assume because it was the wrong kit. But I got to take it off one more time. And then in here, this is where we are at. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I can just get under there and throw the underbox unit in, slap it on in. And then I got to the part where you got to put the air vents. You got to put the vents that come with the kit in the dash under here for the defrost. And I got under there and I was like, okay, you know, it's not too bad to get up through this side to get the air dash vent in on the inside of the dash. But over here, there is absolutely no room under the dash to just lay under there and get my arm and hand up in there to put that air vent in. So, which I was kind of told before on Facebook, yeah, you gotta take apart the whole dash. And I was like, no, there's no way. Which I should have listened, because I've never done it before. And here we are. The whole dash is apart. And then I heard, yeah, 67, 69 Camaros are pretty, those are a pain. And I was like, yep, I'm figuring that out. So I got to take that dash unit back out. I got that right there at the tip of my finger is a blower motor switch. I got to get it. I'm getting a new one of those. I'm getting new ducts because it comes with these adapters that go back here behind the vents to hook up the hose that runs to the vents. So I'm getting new adapters, switch, and the whole harness is different too. So hopefully I get that stuff by this week, because if I had the right kit to begin with, which once again, my fault, not anybody else's, this would be done 100%. I would have all this would be back to how it should be looking, complete. If anything, I might still be doing lines and stuff, because with this kit, of course, the lines, they don't come with the fittings already on them. I'll have to take the lines and the fittings and get them crimped on, which should be interesting. But that is where we are at. So now to the one and only pile of junk. Voila. We are, see, now I can just lie to people and say I got an LS1, because how you gonna tell me I don't? It's right there. It's an LS1. You can't see the block until you see the surface rust. Can you see it? And then if they, I know what I have. I know what I got. It's an LS1 now. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, I recorded the entire swap, pulling the old intake off, like all the official YouTubers that do this stuff that you guys watch and have a lot of followers do it, and I completely messed it up. So now I'm just going to show you what it took to put the LS1 intake on a truck motor with truck stuff, because I'm not good at this stuff. Apparently I'm only good at doing it and then showing you how to do it. So we will start with, obviously, pull the intake off, and then we'll start over here. I told you guys on the Camaro, but obviously I'm going to reiterate. Pull this coil pack off, bend the fuel line up and out. Don't look at this. Just look at this. Don't mind none of this. That is not cracked. It's just a new design. That's all that is. And that'll get it to where you can connect your line and the coil pack's out of the way. Because these are truck coil packs and truck brackets. The LS1, they obviously sit lower. Then come over here, and this is the throttle body off of the truck intake. So to make that work, you gotta tap this PCV valve down out of the way, or else it'll hit the bracket, because it typically sits up here. And then just run your line, and then make sure you plug your vacuum ports on the side of the intake itself. And then it's the same 3-bolt throttle body setup from the truck and the car. The steam vent is going to be different. So the truck steam vent, which I've showed you guys before, it sits up at an angle like that, as to where when I got this intake, it came with it. The car one obviously sits way down there, and come straight out. So what I did was I got my little rubber Tanya Harding, and I just sat there and tap, 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 making sure I was more so turning it and kind of slightly turning it down, bending it down, but obviously you want to make sure you don't pinch it, which I can't show you really well that I didn't pinch it, but I promise you I didn't pinch it. And if I did, oh well. But it's not pinched. So that's the two other things. Then what else did I do? So on this one is a little bit easier because I'm not running the truck accessories. So say you're running a truck water pump. Obviously, so say you're running the truck water pump and the truck accessories. So you would just have the water pump on this side, you'd have alternator here, power steering pump down there, and you would just have your water neck from the truck coming up this way. On the side of that water neck, on the metal piece, the water neck itself, you just hit it with your Tanya Hardin or something, dent it like you would headers. To make headers fit, that's how you'll do that water neck. You're not gonna hurt it as long as you obviously don't crack it, or crack the metal or break the metal or whatnot, or if it's even metal, aluminum, whichever it might be. And that'll get your water neck out of the way of the throttle. And then your intake, I assume, I have no idea how your specific intake runs, but your alternator is going to be right there. So if you're running it this way with the truck intake, it's going to be different because the throttle body and the truck intake would sit about up here, is where we went much farther down. We went about 2 inches down. So that's what you'll do for truck intake. That was really it. That was all I had to do. I'm trying to think, because I know after this video I'm gonna be like, oh, I should oh, okay, here you go. So you have a breather that runs on the top of the intake. Let me show you. I still got the intake out. So this right here hooks into your valve, that end hooks into your valve cover. And obviously you don't have that on the LS1 intake or the LS6, whichever you get. So just go to your parts store, get one of these breathers, and plop it right in there. And then other than that, it's just the throttle cable. Your throttle cable is going to be, it's going to need to be much longer, because once again the throttle body's set up here, not way down here. So my throttle cable is way too short. So that's the only other thing I have to do. But that is it. I'm probably forgetting one or two things, but I'm pretty sure I don't think I am. The only difference really from truck stuff to this car stuff I have is the water pump is your outlet will go that way. So just tap it in. Or if you didn't know, you can get a water pump from an LS3, so a 2010, 2011, 12, 13 Camaro, and stick it on, and it has the same spacing with the crank pulley as your truck water pump does. So if you just want to switch up your water pump and you want to get rid of you want to get rid of the outlet coming this way and your radiator line coming up this way and all the way over here, and you just want to run car stuff, all you need is an LS3 water pump. Like I showed you guys before, I got this LS1 water pump, and I got the spacers that you see right there, the shiny, that it's not going to focus on, because right there where you see that hose clamp, that's a fitting for the coolant crossover. So if you're one of those people that taps your water pumps for the coolant crossover, obviously if your water pump goes out and you got to change it on the side of the road, you're kind of SOL unless you have those tools with you to tap that water pump. Or to be honest with you, you can plug all the coolant crossovers and you'll be fine. But it's just an old Now it's just an old wives' tale, because nobody would believe you if you said that. But I'm telling you, you'll be fine. But don't listen to the internet, guy. What else? Oh, I used some nifty zip ties to get my transmission lines out of the way. Looper there, and then looper there, and then connector to that loop, because those are resting on the header, but it actually wasn't hurting them. I just finally saw it and got them out of the way, but there was nothing really wrong with the way they were. They were kind of just sitting on that clamp right there. But yes, so LS1 swap intake, or intake swap. Yep. But what did I not really get to show you guys unless in the Cuda video? I remember when I got in the car, I couldn't show you the shifter. That was my favorite part because it was all pitch black in here. It's just that nifty shifter. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I didn't show you guys all the rust. I forgot the main parts. Let's skip to the good part. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just patina. No, buddy. This old girl's past patina. She is rougher than a Alabama cousin on a Friday night after a high school football game. I have no idea if that made any sense. And then, so the next, oh my goodness, I'm gonna show you guys underneath. I gotta show you guys just how bad it is. So this is what I'm dealing with exhaust wise. Obviously no clearance, but I cannot get this pipe to stay tight no matter what. So let's see if we can. So right there, it literally rests up against the torsion bar. So when the torsion bar twists when you hit bumps, because it basically acts as a coil spring, it presses up against the clamp and it loosens it. So this, it's just a huge exhaust leak all around that pipe right there where that clamp is. And then I noticed the bottom of the transmission right here, the whole front end bottoms out if the bump or dip is enough, because the shocks have no more collapse in them, because this idiot I know that built this car got stock height shocks and then lowered the front end 2 inches. So that's got wear marks from where it's scraping on stuff. And it's just, look how low that is to the ground. There's literally, that's how much room it has to go up above the pipe right here. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to pull this pipe off. I'm gonna have to chop it off up here, and that should suck it up into it should pull the whole exhaust up. But my biggest thing is I want to get rid of these torsion bars so badly. And the only way to do that is coilover kit, which we'll get to here in a second. But here's the passenger side quarter. It's not as bad, but it's not the greatest. But yeah. And then now, so when I put these wheels on, I had plenty of room in between here, but now I have to squeeze my finger through. So now on tight turns, the tires rub, which you can clearly see. So that means the bushings, the 50-year-old bushings and the 50-year-old leaf springs are finally worn out enough to where they're really moving side to side. The front end, coilover is the only option. Well, it's not the only option, but it's the absolute best option to get rid of this suspension. So if you notice here, Notice right there, something is going on between these two. Some domestic abuse is going on right here. That is the sway bar end link, and that is the tower for the stopper. I would be very surprised if these shocks had anything left in them with how much beating they've taken. But there's a coilover kit I can get for $800, but I am not able to spend that money right now. It is the Magnum Force kit. It's $1,300 new, and a guy that bought the kit that isn't using it is going to sell it to me for $800, which is a great deal. But you also have to buy, it says you have to buy their upper control arms, but when I look at their website, I don't see any difference between their upper control arms, cheap eBay tubular control arms, or QA1's tubular control arms. So I'm wondering if maybe I can just get some cheap tubular control arms from eBay, and those should work. But that is it, I think. Showed you the Cuda, the intake. Showed you the Camaro. I tried to be a legit YouTuber car guy and show y'all getting the work done like everybody likes to actually see. And I just ain't got it. I ain't got it in me. I don't have these technical skills. Also, when I was doing the intake, some dude drove up and was like, "Would you take 15 for the Camaro?" I was like, 15 for the whole thing? So he wasn't a fan of that. He said, you gotta add quite a bit more to that. How about 20? It's like, 20? 69 Camaro? LS swapped with a 6.0. Full interior, running, driving, about to have coilovers, front disc, coilovers. Oh, I said coilovers. Anyways, I never showed you guys. Just to add to the funkiness of the Cuda. So you guys think it's impossible to build a Cuda on a budget because Cuda, Mopar, and budget don't exist? I paid not budget price for the Cuda, but everything else I did to the Cuda, 100% budget. If you haven't noticed, with the knockoff Chevy rally wheels that were like $88 a piece, the Walmart tires, cheap eBay carpet, cheap sound deadener, salvage yard motor, the 4L60, the transmission I paid $200 for. The drive shaft was the one that came in it. I just got a slip yoke that's 8 inches longer, and that was like $75. The rear drums are completely how they were when I got them, except I just put new shoes on them. Oh no, I just put a new drum. The shoes are still the old original ones that are pretty worn out. I did splurge on the fuel pump. That was like $475, but that's kind of one of those, you got to bite the bullet and do that. Amazon hardest mobile. But anyways, so obviously these don't match. I got that seat for $60 off of Craigslist. That's a passenger side seat. I got this seat a couple months ago. This is a driver side seat, and it's only held down by 2 bolts. So if you ride with me, I have some go-kart seat belts I got off Amazon for $20. So YOLO. Ejectocito, cuz. So this Cuda was built as absolutely cheap as possible. Just the Cuda itself was not cheap. Anyways, alright. Hopefully I can get a video uploaded for the whole 50 people that actually watch these. I'll do updates on the Camaro when I hopefully finish the AC sometime soon. I really hope I can finish it this week. I really hope I don't have to go back and forth with the company trying to make sure they ship the parts, but that's what I get for not ordering the right stuff first time. If you got any questions, that's what I made a Facebook business page, Krusty Classics Garage. So I changed my name on here, and that's the name of my Facebook page. You follow me on TikTok, Krusty Cuda. I try to make funny videos, car videos. You can follow me, Krusty Cuda, Instagram. But we have a name change of Krusty Classics Garage. Let me know what you think of it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I just wanted something more. I feel like everybody does something garage because Bicep Garage became so popular, so now everybody's got a garage. I don't know. Let me know. I'm still looking for ideas. But yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. I'll see y'all next time.